welcome to Cannon Crüe, a weekly podcast discussing the Charleston Battery. Your host Granite will be joined by other defenders of the fleet from the black and yellow supporters section, and together they will help fortify and conquer. They are the Cannon Crüe.
Welcome to the Cannon Crüe podcast. I am joined by Patrick. How are you, Patrick?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing well. And joined by Ryan. Talk to us, Ryan.
Doing good, Granite. How are you?
I'm doing well. So this is our season premiere 2026, first podcast of the season. Looking forward to having another good recording and talking about the Charleston Battery. And do we want to talk about what we've been doing over the last couple of months, or do we just go straight into it?
I think we have to address Ryan's new situation he's got going on.
Ryan, tell us about your new situation.
You got off the plane, correct?
Yes, I did. I did get off. Now, for those of you in the Charleston area who have not heard yet, but there is a new indoor soccer facility called Soccer 5. We are a 5-a-side indoor facility with 3 fields to be rented out via youth field pricing. And then we also have Soccer X membership. And then we're also getting 2 new outdoor fields built at the current moment for the summertime.
Hey, so walking in there's something up in the front field. What's all that fun stuff up there?
So that is our Soccer X field. Players, youth academy of all ages can sign up for a membership or drop in on a daily pass. And they can come in and use the passing boards, the shooting wall, the shot clock, the sprint lanes, and then there's also half a field for them to practice their ball skills and everything that they would like to use for a bit.
Cool. Brand new pitches, nice turf, all caged in. You have any food problems? No food problems there. Let's talk. So I stopped by the other day. You were not there because you were coming back from coaching, and one of the young men there let me go out there and look around. And when I pulled in, first thing noticed was parking was kind of tight, but the signs were not yet. So if you go there and you go to visit, there's some parking up front, but look to the right and you'll see a big parking lot kind of across the street, cat corner. I think that's a great place to park over there. Signage should be up now, if I remember right.
Yeah, signs are up right now. Yeah.
Okay, so website.
Yeah, website. You can rent the field anytime on our website, or you can give us a call. Tomorrow's President's Day, so we'll be open all day.
Open all day for President's Day. Do you have to dress as presidents? We should dress as the ex-presidents.
Yeah. Hey, if you're gonna slide over, I suggest that.
Okay, very good. So Patrick, talking about moving.
Yeah. Full moves. I am now on the Charleston commute side. I don't have the nice little cushy lifestyle I'm used to. I now have to put on my big boy pants in the morning a little earlier and drive on down into the heart of it.
Yeah, but
we bought a new house. So
congratulations on the new job. Congratulations on the new house. There's a golf simulator somewhere in your vicinity, if I remember right. You sent some pictures today.
Correct. So Ryan's teaching our youth on artificial turf, how to play soccer, and I am just honing my skills on artificial turf on hitting the ball straight and longer and faster. And it's super fun.
So I too have made a move. If you haven't seen behind me, my CEO of my podcast company sent me upstairs in the room above to keep me isolated so I don't scream and yell all the time and cause problems. So I think it's a better position because, well, I have to think it's a better position because my wife told me so. I mean, the CEO told me so. So let's jump right in, right? Let's talk about last season, how it finished up.
Well, we talked about it. We'll talk about what happened a few weeks prior to the season ending and how it kind of just wrapped up for us. And for that season for us, did not go as the way we wanted it to, of course. But having the players, the depth that we thought we were going to have, and then the player injuries that we occurred and the length of those injuries that proceeded to impede on our season. and not having a secondary or some sort of scheme for the playoff run. Just it we were scared 2 to 3 weeks out going into the playoffs, like worried that what could happen, and it's exactly what we saw. Um, which, seeing that happen, it kind of just leaves a sour taste going into the off season.
Yeah, because we talked about it quite a bit about how we weren't playing at top form. Is it better to go in players rested or playing at your top form? Some players were getting a little rest. We weren't playing that well, and I don't know if that's just a combination of the two.
Yeah, it's tough to roll out injuries having a bigger impact than what they did. When you just look at our form for the few games prior to postseason, and we didn't tactically change anything. We didn't try anything new. We didn't move anyone around. We kind of showed anyone who could be our potential matchup in the first round what we're going to do. And I feel like that was the difference. We played Rhode Island. They came out. We weren't a threat at all to score in that game. And we ended up going to penalty kicks, which seeing our keeper at that time wasn't the best at making saves, and especially not in a shootout, which we touched on one of our last pods. So yeah, I just feel like the tactics weren't there. We didn't fully attempt to, knowing that we had the 2 seed locked up, go out there and move some parts around, see if something else would work, and see who would come out of their shell as an X factor who would maybe change the game. We all just kind of sat back, held our breath as if we were the lower seeded team, and just wait for PKs.
Yeah, and I didn't want to go to PKs, and we talked about that. And then the stadium set up. Shame on the Battery leadership for making that end that we ended up taking PKs at to be the quiet zone down there, if I remember correctly. And
And
I think
again, that's another reason. But again, that kind of it's almost like the officials for the USL did that to the Battery to say there's a reason why you shouldn't have removed those stands. Because in my opinion, as a fan, there wasn't. Like, I understand that there was pricing, there's the money issue, right, and being able to afford it, and that stadium's not necessarily theirs. But have like a different type of push rather than completely removing it, because if you look at the big games, you look at a lot of the pictures that the Battery have posted in the last couple months, years, or whatever, are pictures from that sideline, are pictures from those stands with people and everything celebrating. Um, they took a lot of. I felt like a lot of the fan atmosphere went last year when that went out. It definitely impacted the game because it made it easier to hear the players, made the players feel at ease. They didn't feel scrutinized easier. They didn't feel under pressure by fans literally right on top of them. Whereas it's a disadvantage where we go to other stadiums and we're put under that pressure. It's not like the USL came in and put a new rule in saying it. No, we just got rid of it. Like,
and I think you can still stand back there and see over the boards. So there's no reason why.
Stand back there. You don't have to have the stands. It's like try to come up with a new creative way to bring that back. I think that will actually play on both sides for the Battery, benefiting both not only the fans but also the players. Look at Howie Kaza on the 2024 run.
Mhm.
Look at how he acted every game, every home game, how he acted.
Well,
That's
the
all
other
you-
change I think I would have done is sub Zamudio out and put CG in there. But we'll talk about Christian Gardner here in a minute because I think he's stops things.
Yeah, I think just to tack onto that, this is a huge issue for a club that doesn't own their own space. Like we see of a lot of
Right.
clubs in the USL Championship who sign these deals with the city, are in bigger cities that are so soccer forward that they're able to generate sold out crowds and revenues. It's not a family Friday night to take the kids just to get the kids out of your hair. Like, and we'll talk about it in future pod, but we're going to be moving in the correct direction from here on out. So these aren't going to be issues.
Yeah.
But it's something that I believe absolutely, like you said, Ryan, hinders us, and it takes away a part of our identity when it comes to our team hosting a game. Like we should have a packed stadium, not just on 3/4 of the stadium.
Correct. So let's talk about, we talked about some of the stands there, talked about how we didn't finish like we wanted to finish. And let's move into talking about what the front office decided to fix. And part of that is discussing what we lost.
Well, granted, before we move to that, can we at least agree last season, as disappointing as it is, was a club record for wins, which that in itself should be celebrated. We weren't this distressed team. We did have depth, and injuries played a part at the end.
At the end, right.
But for the majority of the season, we had injuries and we covered it. And we were fine. We moved forward. Louisville was on another planet, so I don't think anyone was ever going to touch them. But a club record 19 wins is incredible for a team that just lost their main striker, was on the outs with their second main attacking threat. And then our third main attacking threat, who was going to be our main one going in, had to take a back seat for another guy that we signed. So just kudos to the team for breaking that record, proving a club is bigger than a player, and that we can go and set a new record, not just the Nick Marcanic records, but we can go set a new club record of wins.
Club record. And I think it's key. You're right. Because it was a team record, not just an individual, which is
how you just said that is one of the main factors of why Ben Pierman got a contract extension again. A lot of people are like, is this the coach to go and win us the championship? Right? Like, some people can kind of view this past season as it was a failure or it was still successful, but there's still, even though it didn't end the way we wanted to, first round playoffs, knocked out by Rhode Island and Penns. Again, you just said we had a record win season that we've never had before. Since he's been with this team for the last 3 to 4 seasons now, he has nothing but improved this team in some way, right? And 3 to 4 years in, and he's improving the total win column. I think this year he's got to put a young team together to establish the next record he's going to achieve. I think there's always going to be a record he's chasing each year, but the thing I've noticed with him is that each year is something different, and it adds with pizzazz. I don't know.
He come in a couple years ago with a core group, Aaron Malloy in that group, and he's kind of stuck with it. We added here and there, and got to a level where we're winning and going to playoffs and performing very well. And so maybe now it's time. Maybe he views it as time to make a change.
Yep. So you had highest point turnaround. Then you had the most points at home, or it was something like that last year. And then this past season, it was most wins in a season.
So in that, we're doing all right. We're doing better than Tampa Bay.
That's for sure.
I
think they had to get our second.
About in a minute, but anyways,
they had to get our seconds. It's okay.
Yeah. So now, are we ready to talk about some of the changes? Some of the people has left the team. Start off with somebody that did us a favor and jumped on a podcast with us, Christian Gardner, keeper extraordinaire. I think his time here was not as appreciated by the coaching staff as that I have enjoyed watching him play. He's a shot stopper. He stopped a couple PKs where other keepers couldn't, and I think he could have been sorely needed at our the playoff PKs at Rhode Island.
Now, granted, this was one of these people that we were fortunate enough to not only get to meet in person and do an interview with, but we got to take a closer look at not only who he is as a person, but his entire career and his journey. And how do you not fall in love with a player in a story like that? Not only that, his ability in the net led me to believe, like, okay, what is truly separating between him and our first string? The only thing I could truly think of was maybe it was the confidence and composure when it came to being vocal and saying a few things. Came to penalty kicks, it came to shot stopping, and it came to keeping the ball out of the net between the sticks. I'm choosing CG all day long. And we saw the one game where he had a pen save, he had 2 one-on-one saves and kept a clean sheet. I think that was one of the first clean sheets we had on the year. And he didn't play until October.
Yep.
So
we talked about how we need to keep clean sheets, and hopefully we improve this year.
yeah. Gonna miss him.
I think he's still around. I saw that he was at one of the practice sessions or something like that. So hopefully he's still hanging out in Charleston, and we can meet up with him
He's
again.
still got that. He's still got a little bit longer of a lease. He's gotta.
Okay, is that what it is?
And then he's gonna slide out.
Well, CG, if you're out there, we'd love to hear from you again.
Yes.
Patrick, you want to talk about Aaron Malloy? Talking about a huge loss to the midfield, or maybe not.
No, this is it. I mean, this is our captain. This is who Ben Pierman builds his teams around. And he is the only factor you don't have to worry about. You don't have to worry about his playing time, his injuries. He's going to get out there, defensive work, attacking work. He is the engine that drove the Battery. We talk about those 19 wins. We wouldn't have any of them without this guy on the pitch. You can talk about defenders, you can talk about attackers, but without this guy running the entire team, we don't touch that. So this is the biggest loss, and I feel like this is going to be where the team is going to struggle and fans will struggle with the new identity of the team we're going to go forward with, is missing this huge link. He was great in the community. He was just the Battery through and through. And this wasn't a guy that we didn't renew a contract. We didn't want to have a negotiation. We kind of got hung up. He had a release clause. It was met. And that's what they're there for. The club said it as, hey, if you guys meet this, it's fine. It was met. And I think there's no love lost on either side. You want players to go and chase their heart. He obviously had the option to decline the move. But good for him. Go on to great things. And it's going to be the biggest piece of our puzzle as we go through these players that we're going to be missing.
Yeah, I agree with you, because he's the engine. He was the heart of the team there in the midfield. And when you put him and Chris Allen together, they were just almost unstoppable. So, Ryan, any thoughts on Aaron?
I'm gonna miss watching the ball mastery, not just the ball mastery with his skills on the ball, but watching his vision and watching the knowledge and IQ that he has to move 2 to 3 plays ahead of time and deceive the opposition when it came, especially when it came to his worldly of free kicks, when it came to sending the balls to NB and Cal, and then getting himself into the right positions, top of the box every time. And then, as Pat said too, defensively, he was just an absolute workhorse on both ends of the field. That is going to be an absolute piece that you can't really fix or replace. But that also comes in with finding new identity in a team. And as we mentioned before, I think for this team to be very successful this year, it's going to have to be a young team that Ben can build. Like, Ben is going to build a young team, and it's going to surprise everyone how well they're going to do this year. And that's what's going to kick these fans up, like keep their moods up and everything, because that's going to create longevity, hopefully, if they're sticking around.
Yeah, I think if we can look at one silver lining, is a player who is coming off of 2 very high seasons back to back, and his value as a player isn't higher. Probably we don't have a way of knowing he's going to be the same player next year. He's 29, so he's getting up there. As fan base, you can at least understand that this cash in helps us rebuild a squad, because he would be a main piece. He is a big chunk of that financial burden, but this also allows us to build the rest of the squad out. So it's kind of that double-edged sword. Yes, we're going to miss him, but he is aging, and it's going to be a player that financially helps rebuild the club without having to just dump a ton of money in and guess.
Right. Like, for temporary fix, you would have like players like Ikaza and Landry like be as your two new sixes to kind of like replace that void for right now until you can get those new replacements in and build that new system. Maybe you switch formations.
Well,
I'm very excited
yeah.
what the Battery to do.
And we'll talk about that in a little bit about how we fix whatever big holes we're leaving. And Aaron's a big loss. We also lost some other people in the midfield. I think it's going to hurt us a little bit. Talk about Arturo.
Yeah, I mean, Arturo's a huge playmaker. I think this is one we'll miss a little less because he had his hit or miss games. The first year, struggled to find that split time with Juan David, as Marcana kind of locked up that right side. Him and Juan David split the left side. This past season, as it was all on him, I don't think he found the consistency enough for us to say, let's go ahead and move forward with this player instead of let's move younger and take some more chances. He's not the guy that we can 100% every game get what we want to get out of him. So it's a loss, but it reminds me of like the Jake LaCava loss. It's a guy who was a piece player and he had his chance to prove it and kind of didn't prove it enough to keep his spot.
I think, in my opinion, the Battery may have gone a little wrong with Arturo a season or two ago when they released Gutierrez rather than letting go Arturo. I think we chose Arturo over Gutierrez, and I think Gutierrez may have been the better choice to have gone with for both players' careers. And kind of like looking at how it has turned out now, not just for Arturo, where he's now departing, not really, he has declined. And how Gutierrez is, I feel like if roles were reversed, I felt like Gutierrez could have had a better career here, and Arturo would have been more successful if he had departed sooner.
What
I
about
just feel like
what about
Andy's
another
short.
player? What about another player we lost that was a big hole that I firmly believe lost us in the going beyond where we did in the playoffs, and that's Juan David.
But we were already preparing for this, right? Like, are we really shocked?
Oh, I wasn't preparing for it. I wasn't preparing for it.
I mean, but we knew he was gone once Louisville. Like what?
In our
3 weeks after Louisville, we knew he was gone.
in our form dipped massively after that match.
Yes. Oh, I'm not going to deny that. But again, it goes into what you both just said earlier. We did a great job this year showing the fan base that this is a club that's bigger than just one person.
I think you hit the nail on the head there. This is a guy who, unbeknownst to any of us, we don't know what's going on in that locker room with him, but there's clearly a issue that's with him and the coaching staff, because he was sitting behind me in the playoffs in the stands. That should be a telltale sign. There's something really happening with him. I'm not thumbs upping that.
Do that again, Patrick. So
I'm not thumbs upping that. I'm thumbs downing that. So,
but for all of you that are not watching us and listening, Patrick has this nice little hand gesture set up to where he can make bubbles that do think when his hands give a thumbs up, it gives a nice little thumbs up bubble.
You're making me sound tech savvy. I don't know how to turn it off. So it's just there, and I very much talk with my hands. But just from a perspective, he's still under contract, so he goes out on a loan transfer per se. Yeah. So I think if you're doing a full rebuild, we'll get into it, but it's like 15 guys are leaving from our previous squad.
Yep.
That's a full rebuild. So it reminds me as an Arsenal fan of the Aubameyang situation. If you have a guy who's not going to buy in and maybe not be a helpful leader to your younger guys.
Show up late to matches. They're very important.
Yeah, you need to say, all right, then we're just going to be done. Like, I wish we could have worked it out, but it's not going to work for us.
And in that situation, I think he went downhill too, wherever he went. But anyways, so that's kind of our midfield.
Pat mentioned something real quick. Hold on. Pat mentioned something real quick. Do we gain or retain an international spot with Juan David going on loan now? Because he takes an international spot on our roster, right? So with us sending him on loan, are we able to bring in another international guy?
I don't know.
I would think Aaron Malloy did that too, because he's
Irish, right?
Yeah.
Okay, just curious.
So
we definitely clear up a spot with Ruben, who's
That's true.
So
he's
let's
in El Paso now. Yeah,
let's move on to Ruben. Was it a loss? Was it a detrimental loss? We did miss some of his headers because he did a fantastic job putting the back of the net whenever he put it on his head. That was about it.
I think he added some value to some of our youth in the club and kind of showed fans in the Charleston area how to properly use a head.
The other cool thing was there was fans. Yeah, I like that. There's fans. All of a sudden, you started seeing the Guatemalan jerseys, which was pretty cool.
Dude, honestly, I'm a huge fan. I'm gonna need to get one sometime. I kind of like them, like the light blue ones. They're really nice.
And maybe the Battery should, whatever players, whatever nationality they are, maybe they should sell their nationality jerseys there in their little kit area. I guess he's a little bit different because he was an actual international player.
Yeah.
I think his international break, when he came back, changed everything. And he was getting these goals, but he still wasn't that guy up top. And he doesn't fit into Pierman's play style. He's not a big cross the ball 50 times. Like, we had guys that did that, but it was when we weren't playing our big center forwards in. And then the times we did have them in, we would just try and tiki-taka around. So I think he was another aging player. He brought experience, but I think just personally, we need to look at this team of the guys we're losing or had lost as the Battery putting all the chips in to the center of the table and being like, either we win it or we don't. We probably won't retain half you. And maybe that's the conversation with most of these guys last year of, we're bringing you in, we want to win a championship, in the way they looked at it. And then after that, we'll assess. Well, when you go out in the first round, you're not really assessing with these guys. You're going to clean house.
Yeah. Another aging player that left us but he had a huge impact for our team, is Cal Jennings.
This one I'm surprised with.
Yeah.
I really think a second year in this system, he would be amazing, phenomenal. The guy that is like, yes, he's going to break the goal scoring record. I don't understand this one personally, but again,
I think it had to do with money. I think it had to deal with money, and honestly, quite frankly, you look at who, when we'll get into who we're starting to go after right now in the off season, but you're starting to look at who we're going after from the College Cup series. And for those who haven't, I highly suggest going and just watching the highlight tapes, watching NC State make the beautiful run, watching Washington and everything. And there's a lot of key players who are currently being signed right now from that College Cup in USL. And I believe Charleston's actually trying to sign. We've signed 2 of them, looking to sign potentially some more. So you're guaranteeing those types of players then those big minutes, rather than telling them they're going to be sitting the bench behind Cal. And then you're also able to then free up money because you're not really paying them. I wouldn't say you're paying them like they're getting paid, but they're not getting paid like Cal Jennings money. And you're able to then spread that money elsewhere.
Yeah, I mean, Cal's off to Japan. I think he's in J2 or J3, so it's not like he's in the first division. But I understand what you're saying. I mean, he was almost 30 years old as well, right? Or just over 30.
Yeah, I think that was and this is his first time playing out of the country too, right? For Cal.
Yeah.
So I think this him was like a career thing. I think he wanted to go play out.
We mentioned he's going to Japan.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. I mean,
Yeah.
It suits his style, I'll say.
Yeah,
I
and his
think he's
hairstyle.
going to enjoy it over there.
Yeah. I have a beer here, and I was trying to see if it was actually where it's from. But anyways, so let's talk about. We talked about Cal a little bit. Let's talk about Mark Segbers. That was kind of a surprise.
That's an aging player right there.
Yeah, and he was dropping off a lot, and I don't know if it's due to injuries or just what it was, but he's dropped off to a USL 1 side.
It's back to his
best human. Best human.
Say again, Ryan.
I said that was one of his former clubs. That's where he came from. So going back to home roots, and again, just one of those players that I'm not surprised for him going back to a club that he showed absolute nothing but love and gratitude, and the club just shared, and the community shared that with him as well. Amazing person. Wish him nothing but the best, and excited to see him continue to play in USL 1 and make some surprises.
And the other one talk about it went down to USL 1 is Vigo.
This one has to do with minutes. There's nothing around here that he can play with. I don't think him going to Greenville he go to Greenville last year on loan. Did we send him over there?
I think he went to Greenville, did he not?
Yeah, I thought we sent him over to Greenville and trying to help them get up and out. I think selling him was the right move if the Battery is not going to finally establish an academy. If they're not going to establish like an academy, by what I mean by academy, I'll define it. I mean like a U23 team, like a second Battery team to where they can go and compete in USL 2, where they're competing against Birmingham Legion 2 and all the other USL 2 teams like Loudoun County. Like almost every USL championship team now has a second team because they're trying to grow the programs. They're trying to foster and send players overseas like Orange County. Orange County has a system from U6 all the way to U23s and then their pro team. I mean, once you're able to establish that, it's amazing. But again, not every area is like that, and not every market is like that. But I do see with the World Cup and how soccer has been booming in Charleston lately. Looking at the new facility I'm currently in myself, I don't think it's out of the question in the next 3 to 5 years.
Yeah, I think this is just a timing issue. If we're 3 to 5 years down the road, an academy's here, you have these guys who are able to get minutes or go out on loan, and we retain them as a parent club. It's a whole different scenario. The structure is just not set yet, and especially with the club situation with stadium and sharing it, not building their own thing, it's kind of where you're going to lose these young guys because they need play time. And if you're a club anticipating going in and winning a championship every year, well, sometimes you're not going to be able to play these 18-year-olds. And it's just a fact of life. Like, you're going to play your best squad. I know you want to get minutes as a young guy. I want you to grow. But like you said, Ryan, that it's just the timing right now isn't there. But in 3 years, hey, we'll have a different team that we can go and have an academy where we get these guys playing other academy games, the under 21 games, or like, if people are familiar, the Premier League 2. So it's all the under 21s and a couple senior players working back from injury, which will help the first team too.
Another young player is Zeke. He left. Do we know where he went?
Another one.
I think he's homeless right now.
Him and Jackson Conway.
I forgot to also mention too, the goalkeeper, Maury. Congrats to him signing in the Peruvian division. So boys going down there,
cool, isn't it?
Our USL Academy goalkeeper, he was our third keeper last year. He is now going down to Peru to play professional soccer. So congrats to him as well. Big things there. Again, just another young player who isn't going to get minutes here per se because of timing. I honestly believe we could have had a starting 11 for this USL 2 team right at to start this season if we
takes
have that
money.
many young players.
Takes money. We got to put more butts in seats.
I know.
That's
I know it takes money and everything. I'm just saying, like, the talent that we have to at our disposal, and then we're just having to then sell them because we're not able to provide them and really utilize them in a system yet.
Do you think it takes a lot of money, or is it the owner putting his entire life on red or black? Is that enough?
I think it's red or black, black or yellow, or one of the two. I don't know. Let's get some wins in first, right?
Yeah.
Let's talk about two players who went to the same destination: Johnny Klein and Wesley Leggett at Monterey
Johnny
Bay.
doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, we saw that one coming.
Wesley does. Wesley really surprised me because we went after him mid-season. He was a surprise sign. Well, mid to late. He was a very surprise signing, being a forward and everything. And then with our off-season kicking off, how it did with the immediate dismissal of MD Miners and Cal, it left that hole there wide open for Wesley. I didn't see why he wouldn't be the fit. I thought when he played for the Battery, I thought he played really well. I thought he was very strong. I thought he had a lot of potential, and I was kind of excited that we signed him.
Well, maybe we'll see when we talk about how our system may change and stuff like that in future podcasts.
Right.
Maybe we'll better understand that. Talking about Peru, Juan Davy. That's all I gotta say.
Yep, that's all we gotta say though.
I'm gonna miss him. Looks like on Instagram he's having a good time down there.
He'll enjoy the refs down there. He'll have a great time. He'll be fine.
And then the last,
you'll see him pop up on ESPN every now and then.
Yeah, ESPN Top 10. And we got Tampa.
Did we miss anybody? I think it's everybody's left, right?
Well, you got Tampa coming in.
We missed a big club trying to take our whole team.
The Tampa Bay, as a note was just sent to me, Tampa Bay have made a huge swoop for our guys. Who'd they catch up in their big swoop?
This year, the news article that the Tampa Bay Battery have signed ND Myers, Captain Leland Archer, and Nathan Dos Santos.
Nate.
So that one was honestly, I thought Nate was gonna have another season.
So Granite and I were talking about this, and I don't think that was the one where we're really surprised because he wasn't supposed to be the starter.
Yeah.
And somehow ended up in that role.
Some injuries, and he ended up in that right place, right time. And towards the end of the season, he was hurting. I think we need some stronger backs, and you could see the writing on the wall. I could, at least with Coach Pierman, what he expected from backs. So.
I can't believe these guys want to go and play and just like go to Florida and retire and not win anything.
I was gonna ask you, do you guys think that this is a retirement party? I'm looking at all,
I don't know.
You know what?
3 year ages. I'm looking
at snowed now 2 years in a row, and I bet Leland said, "I'm out of here. The hell with this. How far south can I go? Florida, great.
Flights are probably cheaper back home. I mean, it's just
yeah, he does get the direct flight now. That's true. He does get a direct flight now.
So we lost Nate and we lost Leland down there. Leland has been a stalwart for the Battery for years, and just what an outstanding captain, leadership, and everything else. And losing him just hurts more than just losing a key, pivotal, incredible player, but also such a leader in the team.
Again, I think this one is injuries. Like a lot of these guys had some major time off the field, and you would think Charleston's the perfect place to fall in love with the city and stay, but I think too much time thinking and seeing, should I make the move? I mean, he's been here the whole time. He's an amazing player, our rock. Like, this is crazy, but both of our captains are gone now.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't like, hey, we split captaincy. No, one of the two is going to be the captain every game, him and Malloy. So a little surprising, but the way we had Joey play last year, you can kind of see that shift of the confidence build so high that kind of turning of a leaf. The new era might begin here soon with an aging Leland.
Agree.
Yeah. And you don't know what their career progression, what they have in their mind, where they want to end up and everything. So maybe they want to be at the USL home office and then down in Tampa.
That's
And
how
if
you
you
get
get
your
a
first
job.
internship right there.
Yep.
I'll ask you guys, is it a little surprising that we couldn't retain, let's just take Cal out of it because going to Japan is a huge move and obviously that's probably something he's wanted. But is it a little crazy to think we wouldn't retain MD or
Hang on.
Arturo?
Ryan, do you have your crying towel out? So we're talking about the doctor leaving.
Are you trying to get me to cry?
Yeah, pretty much. That just boosts ratings when you have hosts crying about a player leaving. I had to hold it back
honestly,
on
it's hard to
TV.
cry over someone who you constantly, cheered for, and he just left. And I felt a little betrayed when he left like that. And he came in, had the spark, everything. He was a great guy. Yeah, I'm just very disappointed. And honestly, I believe looking at the games that we have coming up when we play the freaking, what are they, Tampa Bay Battery now?
The Tampa Bay Battery, yeah.
We played them the 3 times this upcoming year, because don't you forget, we played them 3 times now.
Mm-hmm.
You play them 2 times regular season, then you play them in the Jägermeister Cup. And then we could play them in the US Open. I mean, we could play them other times too. I think it's like 6 times we could play them. I want to beat them 6 times. I want to shut out. I want Joey on him. Joey ain't letting him turn. I'm not saying anything's gonna happen. I'm just saying Joey's not gonna let him turn. That's it. Locked. That's all I'm saying. Locked. But Brandon's over there sweating. He don't even know what to do.
I don't know. I don't know.
Oh, R.I.P.
What's going on? Yeah.
It's kind of crazy because I would think he would be, for him trying to break through from MLS all the way to his journey to the Battery in just like MLS Next Pro, top scorer. All right, I go to the Battery. All right, I get outshone by this young kid. All right, the next season, damn it, Cal Jennings is here.
Yeah.
Everything's gone. You would think he would be like, all right, hell yeah, I'm going to be the centerpiece. I'm that guy. I've shown it. I put in my dues. No.
I mean, honestly, he could go to Tampa, because I started looking around Charleston Medical and started realizing, wow,
he's not a real doctor.
Well, no, I started realizing how crazy good Charleston Medical is, and that maybe going to Tampa is where he could get a job, in that field.
But he's not a doctor like that. He's like a
Florida, it's
philosophy
easy
major
to
or
be
something,
one.
right?
And Florida
Do
is
you think
easier to be one.
they found out his license wasn't real?
Possibly. Gotta happen.
Give me that stethoscope. I don't know what you think you're doing with that.
Did you try kicking it really hard?
Yeah. Well, I wasn't a big fan of MD anyways. I just humored Ryan because I know he liked him. I thought MD was never part of our system that was going to work out well. He scored some goals and he was a good poacher type guy, and he I don't think he was what we needed.
No.
And anybody else that we've lost that we should cry over? That's it.
No, I'm done crying. I'm ready to.
No, you went from love to hate. I mean, the very strong emotions. You went from I love you, MD, to like I hate you, you bastard.
Yeah,
I can't
dude,
wait.
that's the power of the sport. That's what fuels the love, the passion for this sport, that make you want to keep coming back. Because guess what? I just locked myself into watching the next 6 matches between the Battery and the Rowdies. I already said it here, so there you go. They just made money off that.
Okay, we've been going at it for about 45 minutes. We were trying. Yeah. I had a dream that we get this all into one podcast. I don't think we will. So we'll call this one part 1 of preseason 2026. And when we come back for our next podcast after this, we will be talking about what the team's going to look like. Some people we added on, as somebody pointed out astutely, like we've got rid of so many players could we field a team without adding more?
No, we can't.
We cleaned the bench.
We're going to have to call some of our ex-playing coaching staff back onto the pitch. So,
Robbie. Anyways, so let's close it out for this podcast, and we'll come up with section 2 or whatever we're going to call it, title it. And good to be back. Good to see you guys.
Yeah, looking forward to it. I get excited for the season, but I don't know. I mean, we do this every year, and at least we had a little more of a vision last year going into it of like, okay, these guys. And this year, I feel like it's like all of us. It's just huge changes all around.
Well, I think our vision is greater this year than it was last year. Now, the batteries, I don't know, but ours, we have great vision.
Do we?
No,
I don't know
really.
what Pat's more nervous about, the battery's vision or his vision getting the turf installed in his back.
He's got it. He's got
It's
it.
installed?
Yeah.
But what the issue is now you just want to turf everything.
Everything. Except you, Patrick, the problem with turf and everything is if you have a spaghetti dinner, it raises hell with turf.
Oh, it's terrible.
I eat spaghetti all the time on turf. So.
Absolutely terrible.
Okay, guys.
Would it be bad if you have a dog? If you have a dog, you're fine.
We need to have Ryan on the start of part 2 explain Spaghetti Gate to everybody.
Spaghetti Gate. Okay, until we talk about Spaghetti Gate. Catch y'all later.
Later.
See it.